Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back. So, as you guys can see in the title here, the Coast Guard is coming out, or they're trying to implement basically a new way that we do our fitness test. They're trying to get rid of some old traditions and kind of implement these new traditions. So, I wanted to make a video on this for anyone that's looking to enter, or for anyone that's been kind of training for boot camp and stuff like that, or people that are already in and they just didn't realize these changes are here. So basically, 2025, the Coast Guard's been kind of going through a lot of changes, and this is something that now is going to bring more of a diverse way for people to train and hopefully pass the fitness test. Hopefully, it's easier, but it also aligns more with our service, and hopefully, it helps us better as a whole in the Coast Guard. So let's get right to it here. So the agenda is going to be basically we're going to go over the overview of the update, summary of key changes, current standards before July 2025, key fitness changes then versus now for it's going to be a male comparison, and why this matters. So. So the effective date for this, it's going to be July 1st, 2025, and this is subject to change. This is something they're still kind of trying to implement. They're still looking to the future and kind of see how it's going to work. So this can fully take over and become concrete, or it can maybe be rejected, or there could be changes to it. They're still trying it out, but currently the date that we have that it's set to go forward throughout the whole branch is going to be July 1st, 2025. So this will apply to boat crew members, boarding team member, officers, recruits. Obviously, like it's going to be, sorry, recruits entering TRACEN Cape May. So, of course, new recruits going to boot camp. And basically, it's for everyone. It's everyone that's in the Coast Guard is basically going to have to do these new tests and basically be able to pass these new fitness tests. Okay, so follows U.S. Navy updates. So, of course, we fall under the Navy, and I think we kind of shadow them a bit. But the Navy also did this in 2019, where they removed certain workouts and implemented new ones just to be more effective. So, the rolling exercises is one of them that's going to be implemented. It's going to be rowing exercise, mimic operational task, and enhance overall fitness, endurance, and teamwork among Navy personnel. Plank exercise. Plank exercise are incorporated to build core strength, stability, and resilience, essential for operational effectiveness. Operational fitness. This updates practices emphasize functional fitness, preparing personnel for real-world tasks and challenges encountered in the field. So these are the old requirements, right? So we have, everyone that's 30 years old has to do 29 push-ups, has to do 38 sit-ups, 1.5 mile under 12 minutes and 51 seconds. And then you have your swim. And obviously you can look there and kind of see what the requirements are. You can pause it here and kind of look at your age. But for me personally, it was tough for me to meet these sit-ups. Like, I suck at sit-ups for some reason, but I can do like 50 push-ups easily, The mile, it's a bit challenging, it is a bit challenging. And then the swim, of course, it's difficult for a lot of people, so don't feel bad. But this is the old requirements. So let's go and see kind of how the new one's going to look here. So the new physical fitness standards are going to be for males under 30, it's going to be 29 push-ups. Now, no more sit-ups. They're going to implement the planks. You got to hold a plank for 1 minute and 18 seconds. And then the mile time, as you guys can see, it reduced kind of like by 20 seconds. So now you have to run a faster mile time if you're under 30, which is going to be, 12 minutes and 29 seconds. So that's going to be, if you're a runner, then you're good to go, but that's going to be a bit challenging. I don't feel like the planks will really be that much of a challenge, but that's just me. But it's a lot easier for me, I guess, to do a plank than sit-ups. So I think for a lot of people, and that's probably why they added the plank and got rid of the sit-up. Another thing too is that the they introduced the rows, the 200-meter row, the rowing exercise. I believe you go like that. And that one, I don't really do it. I've never really I don't go to the gym and kind of like just walk to the rowing machine and do that. So that's going to be kind of new to me. It doesn't seem like it'll be too bad as far as like the time frame, 9 minutes and 20 seconds. But who knows? That probably could be challenging on the shoulders a bit. So who knows? But let's do some comparison here. So key fitness changes then versus now and male comparison. I guess we kind of just did it right now, but optional 200-meter row or 12-minute swim. So this also is something that it's not as concrete yet. I'm not sure 100% if you have to do both or if you can choose one. This is kind of what the introduction says or states, that you can kind of choose one or the other, which I think would be kind of cool, because if you're not like the best swimmer, then you can kind of be like, well, I'm gonna go more for the rowing, and it could be an easier way out for you, but it could be also rowing could be harder and a swim can be easier. I think this is kind of cool just because like I was thinking about it, and like not everyone has access to like a pool, especially growing up. If you're more like an inland or out in the mountains, like if you don't have a pool around, it's kind of hard to prepare for that swim if you've never been around water. Um, but most gyms do have a rowing machine, and you can kind of practice that. So I think that's kind of cool if they do implement that. So it offers both rowing and swimming tests, providing flexibility for participants to select their preferred endurance activity, which I think is pretty cool. Sit ups removed for core focused planks, shifts to core strengthening, transitioning for sit ups to core focused exercise like planks, emphasizes building functional fitness for better performance, functional fitness importance, functional fitness functional fitness prepares individuals for everyday optional tasks, enhancing overall physical performance and stability. I think uh, I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this. To be honest, I'm happy they got rid of sit-ups, because when I was in boot camp and I had to do sit-ups, I was scared, especially when I was training for boot camp. When I was trying to do, I think it was that 38. I just couldn't do it. It was so hard. But I think I don't know. I just think it has to do with some people are just good at them, some people suck at them. But planks, I think, are a lot easier. So I'm happy about that. All right. So summary of key changes here. And again, we kind of already talked to them. So this would be kind of like for men and women. You can pause it here and kind of just look. So if you're under 30, 29 push-ups. You got to hold the plank in 1 minute for 1 minute and 18 seconds. And then you got to do the mile under 12 minutes and 29 seconds. And then, of course, that's where you have the option, or perhaps might have to do both. So just train for both, 500 yards of swimming and 200-meter row for a time of under 9 minutes and 20 seconds. So yeah, you guys can pause it there, and depending on your age, kind of see where you guys land there. But it's going to be highlights here. Basically, just summarize that a faster run standards for younger ages, sit-ups removed for core focus planks, and rowing adds a realistic low impact endurance option. Benefits for new coasties. Like I said before, it's a good thing. It kind of like allows people to kind of have more options, allows people to kind of pass these fitness tests a little easier. Um, and overall, I think it just gives people more opportunities to either join or stay in, because it gets harder too as you get older. The miles get harder. The certain workouts just get a little harder depending on your age and stuff like that. So I believe it helps a lot of people, and I think that's what the Navy tried focusing on too, kind of retaining more people and getting people to pass the fitness part of things. So final thoughts. I think that overall, I mean, involving mission needs, flexibility and training, injury prevention focus, which I think is also important. A lot of people do get injured. I just think overall, I think this is good. It's good to bring change. Hopefully, it helps people want to find some joy, like doing different workouts versus the same ones, or if you're not a fan of sit-ups, it's easier for you to just kind of knock out a plank. And hopefully it's just more encouraging, and overall it can just prevent injury and just kind of just align more with the Coast Guard, whether it's swimming or rowing and things like that. So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like I said, some of these dates could change, a lot of these things could change, but this is the gist of the changes that will come. So if you are going to boot camp here soon, and you been training and you're gonna go after July, maybe look at the changes. If there's anything you need to work on, go ahead, fix that. And if you're already in and you're seeing the video, then this is some stuff that you can look ahead towards, and kind of just look into those changes. Another thing too to add on this is, like, if you're already in, I think they want to kind of foster or kind of implement this now into like a 2 year like test you got to pass. Basically like twice a year you need to be passing this test, versus like before it's more like about, if you're in weight and your weight is good, then you don't have to take the fitness test. But I think they're kind of moving away from that, and they're kind of pushing people now to take this test twice a year. So it kind of keeps us more on our toes, and kind of keeps us more aligned with our fitness and our health. That way we can kind of focus on that, because the last thing we want is, like, for everyone in the service or any service is walking around, overweight and not taking care of yourself, because then you're not really an asset to the team. Whether, like, if you can't really do things, if you're not, if your mobility isn't as good, or certain little things, then it can just be challenging for the crew, because everyone needs to be in shape. Everyone needs to be ready to go, and semper paratus, So overall, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and look forward for these changes, and stay safe. And I hope to talk to you guys soon. Peace.